Item: SCP-1419. Code name: Religious Broadcasting. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures: the signal which SCP-1419 is broadcast upon is continually jammed by the Foundation. Broadcasts of SCP-1419 are to be recorded by Foundation personnel upon transmission. All recorded broadcasts of SCP-1419 are located in the Media Storage Vault of Site-12 and may be accessed by Level 3 or above researchers, as well as Level 2 researchers assigned to catalog the records. Current efforts to discover any privately owned copies of SCP-1419 are headed by Dr. Lemons and Agent Dan Brooks. Any individual found to possess a recording of SCP-1419 is to be given a Class A amnestic after questioning by Foundation personnel. To date, over 26 private copies of SCP-1419 have been discovered and taken into Foundation custody. It is unknown how the owners managed to locate or record the broadcast. Description: SCP-1419 is a television signal. In a majority of cases, 85%, the signal will display static. However, the static will occasionally be replaced with religious programming, including sermons, religious rites and funerals. While several of the religions shown appear to be similar to current or ancient faiths, see Addendum 1419-4, a majority bear little or no resemblance to any known theology. Records indicate the signal is owned by a corporation named Learning with God. In multiple interviews with employees of the station which originally owned the signal, it was discovered that the only contact between the original owners and Learning with God was through emails. The papers regarding the signal's ownership were faxed to a non-existent number, and were sent back signed by a Mr. Discody the following morning. When questioned about contacting the federal government during the transaction, the original owner stated that the idea never came to mind. It is unknown how the transfer occurred, as typical broadcast license transfers require government approval. Possible mind-affecting qualities of SCP-1419 are being investigated. See Wiki for document SCP-1419 broadcast record log. Addendum 1419-1. On the 7th of February, 1983, Foundation operatives in Oaxaca, Mexico received reports of a police raid on a cult suspected of human sacrifice. Said cult was routinely offering gifts to traditional Mesoamerican gods, and recently held a festival in honor of the god Zaytotec. During the festival, a tourist was kidnapped and forced to engage in a mock battle with cult members. The tourist survived and was freed by the group. The former captive then went to the authorities, leading to the raid. The incident, due to its odd nature, was initially brought to Foundation attention. Recent review of SCP-1419 has led researchers to suspect a connection between the 25th of December broadcast of 1982 and the cult incident. Further investigation is currently underway. Addendum 1419-2. Shortly after the 18th of February, 1994 broadcast was aired, 10 p.m. Foundation contacts at medical centers across the West Coast began receiving a large number of patients who attempted suicide by drowning. The total number of individuals who attempted suicide was 756, 82 of whom succeeded. The survivors could provide no reasoning for their actions, and were released following standard medical treatment. As of the writing of this document, the event is considered anomalous, but not definitely linked to SCP-1419. Addendum 1419-3. Several Foundation researchers and agents noted that on the 18th of June and 19th, 2011, A large number of synagogues and churches in New York City were focusing on the Book of Micah, specifically, the section shown in the most recent broadcast. When questioned, the priests and rabbis failed to provide a reason for their choice, stating that they felt it was appropriate. All interviewed subjects were given Class C amnestics, and the incident is under investigation. Addendum 1419-4. Foundation researchers have noticed similarities between the religions shown in SCP-1419 broadcasts and modern Roman Catholicism, as well as Mesoamerican faiths, early forms of Japanese Shintoism, and Khoisan-4 mythology. Footnotes. 1. Aztec god of agriculture, also known as the flayed god. 2. Daily form of prayer directed towards Mecca. 3. During the outbreak of the bubonic plague in the 14th century, many doctors wore masks resembling bird beaks. The beak held strong herbs used to prevent miasma, bad air, and indicated the doctor's profession. 4. A group of indigenous people of southern Africa, often referred to as Bushmen,